Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show, where I try to bring you new providers, new technologies, and introduce you to the best professionals in the industry, all so you can make informed decisions. Today, I'd like to welcome JoLynn Hauser. She's the Senior Marketing Manager of Channel Marketing for LiveVox, the sponsor of the Top Gun Show. JoLynn has over 22 years of experience doing marketing and enablement in the technology space. Joe has a passion for creating enablement and demand generation programs for sales partners that are easy to deploy and manage. You may recognize Joe as she has hosted over 50 partner webinars in the past 3 years and is an expert in helping partners drive demand and build pipeline. Wow. Welcome back, Joe.
Thanks so much for having me, Steve. I'm really excited to be here. We might
Glad to have you.
Go ahead.
So I'm glad to have you back. This is a huge topic. You know, demand gen. It's like 1% of the partners get it and know how to do it. The other 99 are going, please interview Joe so you can tell me how to do this. So from a marketing perspective, how can partners effectively do demand generation on their budget in 2023?
Well, obviously, that's a great question. Not only is demand gen a huge topic, it's even a bigger topic right now with my special cat guest with me right now, Ben. Do we want to start over?
No, this is great. I love the cat. Keep it going.
Okay. So anyways, obviously demand gen is a huge topic always for our partners, especially to do it on a budget right now. Obviously in 2023, budgets for most people are going to look smaller with the recession. So it's more important than ever that our partners and all of us are really maximizing our spend while still generating demand. So one option we've seen really effective is through events. Now, most people are aware participation in the large industry events is really pricey. So I'm not talking about large events. I'm talking about smaller, either local or virtual events. And most suppliers are willing to host events with partners. So this can be really cost effective for partners. And basically, you're only going to spend by attendance. But the important thing is, how do you get people to attend these events? You really want to create unique events that are appealing to your audience. Local events like hockey games or baseball games, or maybe there's a desirable concert coming to your town. Also, local attractions, maybe an aquarium, a zoo, or even charter a boat if you're on a river, a lake, or an ocean. Unfortunately, I'm in Phoenix, so I don't have that option, but we've done that successfully in a lot of towns with water. Beer, wine, whiskey tasting, and tours are always great experiences. And I've also seen a lot of interest recently in pop-up restaurants and shopping experiences. So all of these different type of events give you dedicated face time with your prospects so you can create relationships and really have time to share your message with them. The other one I wanted to mention was virtual events. So this is obviously a very cost-effective way to hold an event, especially if your prospects are in a lot of different locations. And people were seeing a lot of these during the pandemic, but now we're not. So really, people are more likely to sign up and attend these again. It's really not any effort for them to attend. They can just join a video call from wherever they are, and it can really be a unique opportunity for partners to engage with their audience. And honestly, they can be really fun. We've had some really successful ones and a lot of fun with mixology, with like an expert mixologist, doing a baking or a cooking class with a chef, or of course, wine and whiskey tasting with an expert is always popular. Plus, the attendees get the supplies in order to participate before the event. So it's like an additional surprise and delight. When they open up that package, it comes like a gift, and they get really excited about the event. So again, both of these give you plenty of time to have, time and share your message with your audience.
That's a great, well, you named so many wonderful things in that list. And I know you guys do that in LiveVox, a lot of those events. So that was great, man. Thank you very much. Well, the next question is, as you were talking, I was thinking about, what about like social media? Like, how can partners use tools like social media to drive demand?
Great question. I got so excited about events because that is one of my passions. Social media is another definite way to really engage your prospects and drive demand. So one thing I highly recommend is using a social tool or a platform that lets you pre-schedule regular posts. So it can be really effective, not to mention really less time consuming, and it keeps you in front of your audience on a regular basis. You can share industry news, thought leadership articles, informative, educational things, anything that's going to interest your audience. But you also want to make sure you share you. Your personal insights and experience can really draw your audience in. So you've got to add your personality. So even when you're promoting your company, we're all people at the core. So you need to not be afraid to show that side of yourself in your posts. And that human component really engages your audience.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, LinkedIn is a business social media site, but I mean, I post things about my life. We just had a baby, we moved, and all this stuff. And people do business with people. They don't do business with companies. So, like, I agree. You don't want to inundate people with just all pure personal, but you got to throw in who you are because people want to buy from you. So anyway, I could go on about that. Okay, next question. What are some tools that partners could use immediately to drive demand that they may not be aware of?
Great question, Steve. Another one. One thing I really just mentioned, and that's the social media scheduling. So Buffer, Hootsuite are just a couple of vendors that offer free versions, and these allow partners to pre-schedule posts across multiple social media platforms, not just LinkedIn. And you can use a mix of your own content, your personal content, as well as your company content, and get content from your suppliers and vendors. They're happy for you to share that. And then you can pre-schedule everything 2 to 3 weeks out. You just set it and forget it. Another tool that is really good for partners to look at is one that offers you the ability to do free inbound marketing campaigns. HubSpot's one that comes to mind. You get a free single user account. There's some limitations on contacts, but you can do a decent amount for free and really, be able to do your own inbound marketing campaigns. The last thing I would say is partner up with your vendors, your suppliers, because most of them are really willing to co-market with you. So they'll jump at the chance to co-sponsor an event, a webinar, a campaign to your customers. And they're likely to already have a lot of these tools, marketing automation tools, to help you set up the event registration, do follow-up campaigns, what have you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Joe, last question. You've been on the show before, so I've asked you, a little known personal fact about yourself. So I'm going to ask you something different. I'm going to take you by surprise right here. But you're a powerful, well-known woman in the channel. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up, and why?
Well, I love that you're asking me this because this just came to my mind recently. Someone I knew when I was younger, when I was in college, reminded me of this, and it's really applicable here. So I wanted to be a talk show host, Steve. So you've got my job. Yeah, I was a communications major at the University of Arizona, and I didn't want to do hardcore journalism, but I really wanted to do a talk show and have on regular people and famous people and just talk to them and have fun. So I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to really live out my childhood dream. Not to host, but at least to be a guest.
Well, that's amazing. Jimmy Fallon took over for Leno. So I don't know how many more years I'm going to do this, but maybe you're first in line to take over the Top Gun Show.
Hey,
because
talk.
You are decades younger than me. Decades, many of them.
I don't think that so, but I would love to talk to you about it, Steve, because I love this gig you've got. We all enjoy watching it on LinkedIn, and it's a great thing for us to have in the channel. So thanks for doing it, and come let me know if you're ever thinking about turning it over to someone else.
All right, sidebar, we'll talk about it in the future. Joe, thank you for carving out time out of your busy schedule to be on the Top Gun Show again. I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Take care, Steve.
Thanks for watching, everybody.